Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Flying North. In this episode, I will be talking to you about what are the factors that you should consider when you're actually planning to go out and buy that house. Especially if you're a first time home buyer, the amount of variety that GTA offers you in terms of buying of the houses, the locations, the schools, the transit, it can become a very intimidating experience for all. So in this video, I will be breaking it down into four major steps where that you should consider before you go ahead and finalize your house in a particular location. So without much overdue, let's get started. So the first step would be to know what your mortgage amount is. So once you've come into Canada, you've settled down, you have got yourself the job and you have managed to save up the money for your down payment. The next step would be to approach your mortgage agent in the bank and know what is the amount of mortgage the bank is willing to give you. You can get a pre-approval letter from your bank stating the amount of mortgage a particular bank is willing to give you. So now that you know what is the limit of the mortgage you can get from the bank, you can start with finalizing the kind of house that you want to look into. The second point would be location. So based on the location that you select, the size of your house will also vary. Now let's take for granted that your bank gave you an approval of a mortgage of 750k. For that 750k, if you're looking for a house in downtown Toronto, what you can afford is a condo. But if you're willing to move around an hour outside of Toronto, like places like Ajax, Whitby, you can probably get a townhouse or a semi-detached for that same price. And in a place like Kitchener and Guelph, you can actually get yourself a detached house. Again, these are prices I am stating as of today. 6 months down the lane, it could be a different scenario. But as the day that I'm recording this video, that's the rates that's happening. Now, again, what in location, what you want to consider is the time that you spend in your transportation to work. So, if you're somebody who's working in downtown Toronto and you choose a house in Whitby or Ajax, you have to take into the factor that you will be using the GO train. You might even have to use your car to drive till the GO train, park in the GO train, and then take your transit to work. So you're somebody who will be spending an hour and a half just daily one way commuting to work. Or if you opt for a house in downtown Toronto, you might be just spending maybe 20 to 30 minutes. So in that sense, the location that you select will matter in terms of the hours that you spend to work and also in terms of the size of your house. So the second factor you may want to consider under location itself is taxes. The taxes vary a lot for the same house structure based on the city or the region that you select. For a townhouse in a place like Mississauga, it can be around $3,900. For that same townhouse in a place like Whitby, you may be paying only $2,700. In a region like Markham, it can go to $4,900. So you want to consider the taxes that you'll be also paying because that is also part of a budget that you need to set aside for the house. The third factor that people all consider in selecting the location is car insurance. Based on there are certain locations within GTA where the car insurance shoots up a lot just because you happen to be living in a high accident prone area. So again, there are people who do consider this also because then there's an additional money that is going from your budget because you have finalized on that location. And the fourth factor would probably be the community. So every region, be it Oakville, be it Whitby, be it Brampton, the entire feel of the community is very, very different. So you may want to take your car, you may want to drive around these locations over the weekend, spend time in the nearest mall, go and visit the parks over the weekend. I know there's COVID right now, but when the lockdown is over and people start going out, you may want to hang around in the parks, hang around in the community centers, just to get a feel of the kind of the community and the people that live there. And the third factor is schools. So there are a lot of people who decide on what location that they want to finalize on based on the school ranking. So the school ranking also affects the house prices. So the higher the school ranking is, if you see in certain locations, if the school has a higher ranking of maybe 8 or 9, the house price values in that location will be relatively higher compared to a few houses down the lane. Now, one best location to look for the school ranking is Fraser Institute. This is an institute that conducts regular tests in the schools over here, and they actually rank and grade the school. The website link for that is below over here. So now you can see that we are into FraserInstitute.org. Over here, you can come down and click on find your school. It opens up a separate tab, and in that you can actually see all the schools that are within the Ontario region. So these are all the schools that it's showing up, and on your right hand side you can see the score that they have got as the Fraser Institute. You can now, if you have if you have zeroed down on your location, all you can do is come into the filters and say that okay, I want only schools that are 8 and above, and you can click apply. So this will show you only schools that have a score ranking of 8 and above at various locations within Ontario. You can go back to the filter over here. I can go ahead and select what district board I wanted. So if suppose I go into, let's say, Halton District Board, um, here's the Halton District Board. I click apply, and this actually shows me all the schools within the Oakville region that have the scores of 8 and above. I can go and click list the views, and you can actually see all the schools, the boundaries within that school, and find. This is also one way in which you can zero down on your location. If you are looking for a particular school and you want to finalize on a house based on that school, the best way to know the school boundary is go into the website. So, as an example, I'm trying to show you what the boundary of your school is. For this, I'm taking the schools inside Toronto District Board. So go into tdsb.find your school. Either you can enter the address over here and it will show what are the schools that fall under that particular address, or you can go by the school name. So I will go inside. Now I will click on the regular program MAC boundaries. So over here, you can see that this is the particular region. So any resident living in this particular area is eligible to go and get their kids enrolled in the Davisville Junior Public School. So this is one of the best ways in which you can find out what school is your child going to be eligible in, and accordingly also you can go ahead and zero down on your location. So with this, I hope I have helped you determine what are the various factors you need to consider, come down and finalize on the location and the house that you would need to buy. Till then, thank you.